Welcome back to the Giant Monster Games 2017 Advent Calendar. Today we are on deck number 13, which means we are getting close to the halfway mark, and rightfully so. We have Merfolk Control today. This deck is pretty good, but it's not amazing there. It needs to be a little bit upgraded. What is a Merfolk deck, you ask? Well, it's a tribal deck that has Merfolk in it, specifically Harbinger of Tides, Merfolk Sovereign, and Morrow Regery. These are the three main Merfolk we have in the deck because they make other Merfolk bigger, and they do other things like tap down our opponent's creatures or return them to our opponent's hand. But in truth, I feel like we should be calling this deck Merfolk Combo, seeing as how we have an infinite combo. We have Pure Sight Morrow, Paradise Mantle, and Laboratory Maniac. So what we can do is we can put Paradise Mantle onto Pure Sight Morrow, tap the creature to give us 1 mana, specifically a blue or a white mana, then use Pure Sight Morrow's ability to untap it, look at the top card of our library, and exile that card. Once we have no cards in our deck and we draw a card, Laboratory Maniac allows us to win the game. So we have two ways of winning with the deck. Generally, we're going to swing in and win with a bunch of creatures, but we do technically have an infinite combo, so that is something interesting about this deck. If you want to see more about this deck, though, there is in the top right-hand corner a link to the entire deck tag where you can go watch what this deck is actually doing, and if you want to pick this deck up on MTGO, there's a link below the video where you can actually do that as well. And now let's ship it over to Adrian, where he will consistently try and find an opponent that wants to play against him while playing this deck. Attempt number 5, here we go as we try to record Merfolk Control, or, well, more accurate, it's actually Merfolk Temple. I actually am pretty okay with this opening hand. I mean, obviously we need blue for the, like, Pure Sight guy, but I think Seize Claim is going to be really good, assuming we're against a non-blue deck. So we're going to keep it and see how this plays out. Hopefully, fingers crossed, as I said, attempt number 5, we actually succeed at getting this game recorded, because I'm tired of explaining how tempo decks work again and again and again, and oh my god, it is not blue. But it could be, you know, what is it? We've been playing against Suicide Blue, or I've been calling it Suicide Boo, as in like Suicide Surprise. It's more, I think of it more that way. I mean, because that's kind of what it is. It's like a creature swings in, and then you basically almost kill yourself, and it's like surprise. It's like Infect. It's like Infect. Suicide Infect, and we get an island. Oh, that's good. So I think we're just going to Seize Claim our opponent's guy. By guy, I mean land. And hopefully, fingers crossed, he is not playing blue. Please tell me he's not playing blue. I really want our opponent not to be playing blue. This would make me really happy. Please let me, our opponent, and our opponent is going to shock us. Oh. So if our opponent has shock in their deck, I'm willing to bet good money that we are playing against the Goblins deck that I made. My Goblins deck. You're playing my Goblins deck. I'm willing to bet, because that's the only deck I know that runs shock. Other than potentially Budget Burn. We're going to find out. And our opponent plays anything. Does our opponent play anything? They have Mountain. Our opponent plays Mountain. Welcome. What do we got? Depends on what we see. If it is Goblins, it is not. Our opponent is not playing it. What is this? Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it deals 1 damage to your opponent. Okay, so it's like a different type of burn deck? That's actually kind of fun. This could work in a budget burn deck. Why not? That could totally work in a budget burn deck. I think, though, what we're going to do is... Well, we could get rid of the other red mana, his other red mana. Let's see what we draw. It's another island. We could Seize Claim this other one and then just play other stuff. I think we're going to try that. It's not necessarily the best approach, but I think we're going to go with it anyways. Because if our opponent doesn't have more mana, doesn't have more land, then they don't have a way out. Yes. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna start in 2. I mean, it seems like we're actually gonna play this game out. Our opponent hasn't scooped yet from me turning 2 of his lands into islands. So what I was talking about with tempo deck, Merfolk is a classical tempo deck because sometimes you hear the word tempo thrown around here and there. And we draw a Tide Hollow Scholar. Ooh, yes, please. I would love to cast you. And then we're going to turn this guy to our opponent's hand. Ha 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 ha. Good luck casting it with no mana in your hand. So, tempo decks, and yeah, this is going to be, we have only one option. So there you go. So tempo decks, as I was saying, is the idea behind tempo. Because you hear tempo kind of thrown around, you probably hear me say it every so often. And the answer is yes on this. You can probably hear me say, like, tempo this, tempo that, or this is a tempo deck, or we're going to play on tempo, stuff like this. So, if you've ever played music, or you know anything about music, you know that there is a tempo. Things happen on a beat, things happen on rhythm, it is all tempo-based stuff. People that play music are probably going to be like, what are you talking about? Tempo is part of music. Theoretically, tempo is like the beats per minute or something. I'm not too sure. Anyways, the idea with tempo in Magic and other card games, or other just games in general, is you want to be able to do stuff. Oh, nice, Mana Leak. That is also pretty fun. Well, we're going to play Nikto Shrine to Nyx, and then we're going to swing in for 2, and then we're going to... Actually, we could have played Bident of Thassa. I think we're going to hold up Mana Leak, just in case our opponent does manage to play anything. We can just Mana Leak it away. And go to second main phase, play Parasite and Marrow. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Play this guy. Anyways, tempo, as I was saying. So the idea behind tempo is you want to be playing things with the most efficient as you possibly can. And additionally with tempo decks is you want to make it so your opponent can't do that. So example, you want to try and play a 1-drop on turn 1, a 2-drop on turn 2. I think we're just going to play Bident of Thassa and go like this. You can create whatever, you can create this. I guess theoretically we could have gotten, no. We would have gotten 2 mana out of it. So it would have been the exact same. It would have actually come out in a while. Oh no, we have 4 mana. So we actually would have gained 2 mana from this. Oh well, too late now. Yeah, so you're playing stuff on, as I said, tempo. So you're playing a 1-drop on turn 1, a 2-drop on turn 2, 3-drop on turn 3, so on and so forth. And then with this, we're going to combat here. With this, you're trying to make it so your opponent isn't doing that. So if your opponent wants to play a 3-drop on turn 3, you want to stop them from doing that. So then you're basically getting this constant slight advantage by just constantly playing within your curve and up the ladder, and then making it so your opponent is losing that advantage. So you'll often hear me say as well that like the objective of most decks shouldn't be to kill your opponent with for like 30 extra damage. You shouldn't be overkilling your opponent. You should be, we draw a card, we just get to draw a card, period. That's fun. So your objective should never be just to straight up kill your opponent. That should never actually be your opponent, or your objective, or sorry, your objective should never be to overkill your opponent. So you shouldn't be like, okay, I'm gonna like play this and I'm gonna do 35 damage to our opponent. You're like, well, you don't need to kill your opponent by an additional 15 points. Ooh, Desperate Ritual. That's a thing that happens. Does our opponent have like Storm? is this a Storm deck we're playing against? That'd be pretty weird. So with so the idea with tempo though is you're trying to like chip in damage. So you're gonna do 2 damage here, you're gonna do 3 damage there, and you're slowly gonna grind your opponent down to the point where they just lose the game because they don't have all of the stuff. I'm interested to see what our opponent does here. So I'm just gonna skip through. Oh no, he's not. Okay, I'm not gonna skip through my turn. Stop skipping. I want to exile the top of my library. So our opponent is going to shock. What is he going to shock? I think we are going to... I think we're going to do this. And look at the top of our library and potentially exile it. And we revealed Master of Waves. No. Do you want to use... No, I'm not going to... No. I want to keep it on top. So yeah, so that's the idea behind a tempo-based deck is you're slowly trying to play things on curve and on tempo, so using your mana in the best way possible. And a lot of times with a lot of tempo-based decks, especially in Magic, you see a lot of... what's what I'm looking for? You see a lot of your decks using Aether Vial, which allows you to cheat in creatures, which gets you additional tempo, hopefully slowing your opponent down as well. So you see a lot of control decks that are running tempo, or a lot of tempo decks that run a little bit of control because they want to counter their stuff, but a lot of times you see it in the form of creatures. So you see the Owl, what is it called? Judge's Familiar, which potentially counters stuff, so your opponent can't play everything as efficiently as they want to. So that is what we're trying to do with this deck. And what Merfolk is trying to do classically is just win by out-tempoing your opponent. You're playing more stuff that is more valuable, so on and so forth. And this allows you what? Creatures your opponent control, attack this turn if able. I don't really want that. So we're going to play the island. I think we can play... He has protection from red as well, which is fun. I think what we do is we play the Parasite Marrow. Do we need to play everything? I think we go blue, play the Parasite Marrow with the blue. We then pay 2 mana. Oh, that doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. I played it wrong, guys. We want to hold up the mana leak because we want to counter whatever our opponent does here, realistically. And the next question is, I think we're not going to mana leak anything. We're going to go full on this way. So we got to pay 2, but we get 8 mana, which is fun, but not really super helpful. So this ping with this. And unfortunately, we don't get to just swing in. This is actually a really risky move. I should not have done that now that I think about it. Because all of our guys, I mean, if this thing dies... Oh, no, protection from red. This is fantastic. This is actually perfect. Like, legitimately perfect. So let's go. We're going to swing with this guy and see if our opponent wants to trade with us. I don't think they will. Unfortunately, we lose all this mana. That is an unfortunate thing. And I guess we just ship it to our opponent's turn. No, we're gonna leave mana in our mana pool. Unfortunately, it goes away, and then we swing in for a whole bunch of damage. Well, not a whole bunch of damage. We swing in for 2 damage, which he can either block or not. And I'm surprised our opponent hasn't scooped yet. I don't see how you win from this, because he can't actually get rid of Master Waves because it has protection from red. So yeah, winning by small amounts of damage. So he has an option. He can either chump block, or we get to do damage and then draw a card, which is very fun. And when we draw a card, do we have anything we can play? I mean, we have potentially a couple 1-drops. We have a couple 1-drops we can be playing. So our opponent is playing a weird kind of. I'm gonna call it a weird mono red storm deck, because it kind of feels like mono red storm, especially with this guy, because I'm assuming he's also playing not Goblin Necromancer, Gutter Snipe, which is a little bit more cheaper version of this, or a more expensive version of this, because I think it's a 3-drop. So I feel like I should have put this guy in the storm deck, not the one I actually did put in, because whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it deals 1 damage. So that could be anything. It doesn't have to be instant or sorcery. It can be any non-creature spell dealing 1 damage to each opponent. This is so much better than Gutter Snipe. Dang. Oh well, we have Gutter Snipe in the storm deck, but here you guys go. For anyone that has a storm deck, upgrade the sideboard with this guy. So much better. And yes, we're gonna draw a card. And it's an island. It's an island place. And going to our opponent's turn. So I'm repositioning myself in my chair. That's what all the squeaking is whenever you hear the squeaking. It's me repositioning myself in the chair. Sitting in the same position all day gets very sore on the back and butt and legs. Mostly the shoulders, actually, I think. This is probably my thing. I tend to slouch too much, especially when I'm at work, because I work in front of a computer. I work at a computer all day. Okay, go to sideboard. Our opponent decides to scoop it up. And, well, we were playing against a burn deck. So I kind of want to take out the combo. I think we take out the combo. And this is red or green creature. I think we throw into Mage, and we take out other infinite combo stuff. You can stay in because you're actually not bad. But where are you? It's 3-drop. Laboratory Maniac. You come out as well. Don't need you. Dispel comes in because I have no problem countering instants and sorceries, or instances specifically. Negate. You'd be fun. Echoing Truth, 50-50. This guy is much better, though. And what else do we take out? I think we take out... Seize Claim is good in this matchup. Kazi's Trickster comes out. Kazi's Trickster is really good in some decks, against some decks, but not really good against a lot. And I think that's what we run it back as. Submit deck. There we go. That's what we're doing. So pulling out the infinite combo. No point in having it in there. It's nice, but it's not necessary. Probably be better to actually win without it. And what do I think? Opening hand. Yeah, it's okay. I think we can keep it. It's a safe keep. It's a safe keep. It's not an amazing keep, but it's a safe keep. So we're gonna keep it. Open up some graveyards here. That's actually one thing that here's one thing that drives me crazy. Is you see a lot of these people that play games and they leave this closed, and then you have to try to like look in this tiny little box and what your opponent has in their library. And the thing about Magic, unlike a lot of other card games, the graveyard, or discard pile, whatever you want to refer to it as, graveyard technically, is super important in Magic. It's like I would say probably like 20% of decks out there use the graveyard in some capacity. It's so much so that every single sideboard has a graveyard hate in it. Or some decks have graveyard hate main deck because it is such a used thing. So it's nice for you guys to be able to at least like have this open. You guys can actually see what's going on. We're not playing anything, by the way. Oh, Island. Not really what we want. Play it, ship it, go. Grab a drink of water. Not really playing on tempo here. Again, this deck, the one thing about this deck is we don't have some of the good Merfolk that are turn 1 plays, so we don't really have that type of tempo. Also, we don't have Aether Vials in this deck. If you're playing like the other non-budget version of Merfolk, Aether Vial is like the way to go. Okay, so what is this? At the beginning of each enchanted player's upkeep, it deals 1 damage to them. Sweet, we have a curse. We're playing against a curse deck, so we're going to take 1 damage every single turn. We have a clock. We have a 20-turn clock. Assuming our opponent doesn't deal any more damage to us, that thing will eventually kill us. Because we don't have life gain in this deck. That's the thing. If I could have, I would have actually like mana leaked or negated that. But again, we're on the draw, so we don't actually have the mana for these things. There's a lot of good, by the way, there's a lot of good counter spells out there. There's Spell Snare, which is like really good. I should always yield to that, which is really good, especially for stuff like this. Spell Snare, countered. It's especially on turn 2. So if you are playing a control deck, get Spell Snare. It's super cheap right now. Yeah. Highly recommended. Especially playing it as a... I mean, if you're playing in Modern, you could probably run it as a 3 of in like almost every single deck. I mean, why not? Seems pretty worthwhile. More land is not what we want. And we're not going to play anything, so we're going to hold up and either negate or mana leak. Probably going to mana leak. Mana leak is good early game. Negate is good late game. So we're going to probably mana leak whatever he plays next turn. Because, yeah, mana leak is fantastic. The thing about mana leak, you see it played a lot because it is theoretically good in Modern, but it can also be really bad. There gets to the point every so often. So here you go, mana leak that. It gets to the point every so often where mana leak is just not good. You're like, and mana leak kind of didn't do what it was supposed to do, because once you get to the late game, especially if you're playing in like against control decks, because control decks generally don't run mana leak because they kind of need to go long, and once you get to the late game, you're like, and I play mana leak, and they can pay for it. Doesn't really help you out at all. Doesn't help you out at all. Waiting on our opponent. Our opponent is burning their clock a lot faster than we are, which is unusual. Usually I'm the slow player out of the two of us, so that's a thing. I feel like our opponent is actually playing a standard deck, by the way. I feel like they're trying to play a standard deck in Modern. They probably threw in like 2 or 3 Modern cards, like this, that don't really make the cut. Like this deck doesn't really make the cut when it comes. Like Shock, you don't play Shock. Okay, there we go. Die to that thing. And the next question depends on what we draw. It really depends what we draw. Pure Sight Marrow. So here's the problem right now. We can play Pure Sight Marrow, or we can play Negate. These are 2 options. Negate theoretically is going to be better for us, because if we play Merfolk Sovereign, he's playing red, he's probably going to burn it away. If we play Pure Sight Marrow, same thing, he's probably going to burn it away. So the question is, do we play Pure Sight Marrow or this guy? Probably Pure Sight Marrow, because this guy's a lord. Do we play Pure Sight Marrow and try and fetch out whatever burn he has in hand to deal with our creatures? I'm going to go with yes. I think that's the better play, because hopefully we'll draw into stuff. But yeah, holding up Negate would probably be better. If we had 4 lands, it would be fantastic, because we can hold up Negate and play creatures, because he's probably not going to burn our face. Anyway, so I was saying about Shock. Shock is one of those cards that you put into a deck if you're trying to go super budget. You're like, I have 25 or 30 bucks to build a deck, or maybe 40 at tops, and you need burn. You need some kind of removal, so you play Shock. Sure. But if you're going to play Modern, realistically, if you're going to play Modern, so you can go to F&M, you really need to play Lightning Bolt. Like, Lightning Bolt is just strictly better. It's 1 red mana for 3 damage versus 1 red mana for 2 damage. And they're not super expensive. They're not cheap. Like, okay, good thing we did not keep up Negate, because we wouldn't be able to counter this guy. Deals 1 damage. Okay. Yeah, so he's doing this kind of like burn storm deck, which is neat. I just don't know how effective it actually is. That's the thing. Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out. So we take 1 damage, again, from the curse. Oh, that's the worst thing. You don't ever want to see 2 of these. That is not good at all. Well, we're going to go like this. Play the Merfolk Sovereign, and then we're going to swing in with a 3/3, which then we can fix it up of our library as well, which is nice. Swing in with a 3/3. Our opponent might do something. I mean, they could shock this guy. Could. I don't think it's a really very useful use of their resources, because this guy untaps whenever you play an instant or sorcery, so why wouldn't he do it on his turn? Makes sense. Just talking my way through my strategy. Okay, so swinging in with the 3-3. See if our opponent wants to do anything. And we're probably going to use this guy on our turn, just because if he does have shock, he'll probably shock or bolt this guy. And then, well, and then probably use this guy's ability twice on his turn. Mind you, he can't bolt with this guy. So, yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, we don't have anything in hand. Our opponent at this point should know that we don't have Spell Snare or anything related to Spell Snare. And this actually just reveals... Notice his look at the top card. Well, I think we're going to untap him and use his ability right now. Ideally, we want to use this on our opponent's turn, but I'd rather not potentially give our opponent some advantage. Potentially, I'm not sure if we're really giving him advantage. Who knows? Who knows? And what are we going to put on top? It's an island. We do not need an island. We are going to exile that thing away. Goodbye, island. Save ourselves a little bit of pain. And then go to our opponent's turn. See about this weird damage storm thing he's got going on. I mean, if he can storm off right now, especially with mono red storm, he can do a lot of damage. Do extra damage with this, do extra damage with storm cards. I mean, it's not a bad idea. It's kind of it's definitely a neat idea. I just don't know how effective it actually is. Because the weird thing about Storm has this, like, balancing act. And I think we just ship it through our opponent's turn. So Storm has this weird balancing act where you have, like, card draw mixed with damage. And you kind of need to find that, like, perfect balance. Otherwise, the deck breaks down. So, I mean, I guess keeping up Negate would have been actually a good idea. But, again, doing damage, yeah, 50-50. It's hard to say. Damage, I'm not a good control player. I'm not going to lie. Oh, God. More islands. Well. We can play Bident of Thassa, but I think holding up Negate's probably a better bet. So ship it through to our opponent's turn. Holding up Negate, not... Oh, might as well attack him with this guy as well. He's gonna clearly block it, but we can at least fix the top of our library. Yeah, there you go, you can block. Thanks for blocking. It's all good. At our opponent's end step, we're going to use this guy's ability. So there's a damage to our face from our opponent. And going to our opponent's end step, where we're going to use this guy to fix the top of our library again. There's the Scry 2 thing again, doing a bunch of damage. Super annoying. Super annoying. And I think we just negate this thing. Yeah, negate. Thank you, but goodbye. I don't really want you to scry 2 or destroy my creature. So, thank you, goodbye. And going to our opponent's end step. Again, fixing the top of our library. We see a what? If it's an island, it's going away. Like gone. We don't need more land. It is a land. Goodbye, island. Yes, we want to use this. And then going to our turn. What do we got on top? Our opponent is doing quite well this turn. I'm actually quite happy and surprised that our opponent is actually... Their game plan seems to be working out quite well. So taking damage from this thing, I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to be able to play Bident of Thassa this turn. Judge's Familiar is also really good. What? I think we go... See, Judge's Familiar means our opponent can't play 3-drop spells, but he's not really playing 3-drop spells, he's playing like 2-drop spells. So I think we go Bident of Thassa. Yeah, Bident of Thassa I think is the way to go. And I think we also go Judge's Familiar. We don't have anything in hand, so we might as well just try and get as much stuff on the board as possible. And then next turn we can actually start getting some card draw off of Judge's Familiar and Bident of Thassa. Bident of Thassa. And here we go. Paying 1. And then I think what we're going to do is we're going to go to combat. We're going to swing in with this guy just so we can fix top of our library once again. Once again, indeed. And then also next turn we can actually force this guy to start swinging in, which is super fun. And go to combat. Well, I say force him to swing in, but he just taps it down anyways. So it's not like it's really that hard. It's not like he's ever actually going to use it, so that is a thing that happens. Does our opponent block? Yeah, opponent, of course he blocks. Of course he blocks. We're swinging in solely so we can fix the top of our library, by the way. If you haven't already put those 2 and 2 together, that's what we're doing. So, more damage. We are on the clock. We are slowly melting away as our opponent does really slow damage to us. Okay, so when it enters the battlefield, deal 1 damage to target player. Has vanishing when it leaves the battlefield as well. I don't think we have anything to do with that, so I think we just let our opponent play it. Vanishing away. So that's kind of fun. And we're going to, at our opponent's end step, do this thing. Do the thing we do. And go to our end step, opponent's end step. Use this guy's ability. We see a what? Another island. Oh, I'm so glad we're getting rid of islands, actually. I'm really happy. I'm really happy to like be exiling all of our lands, because drawing relevant cards is substantially better. Okay, so I'm not sure why our opponent doesn't set this to auto-yield for them. It's really not one of those things you ever need to like react to or respond to. And it's going to happen every single turn until we can get rid of it, which we have ways of getting rid of this, by the way. When we go to sideboard, we're going to find ways of getting rid of this guy. He actually has more creatures than I thought he would have, so that is also a thing. I think the other thing we're going to do as well is we're probably mana leak. So I think what we do is we swing in with just the Judge's Familiar. Yeah, I think we just swing in with the Judge's Familiar, because we're going to get the card draw when he does damage. We could have actually played the second Bite in the Thassa, but I actually kind of would rather keep up mana in case we draw something substantial. By substantial, I mean something we can play. Like, literally anything that is a creature right now would be nice. So that's kind of what we're trying to go for. And yes, we would like to draw a card. Yes, please. I should probably set this to, like, auto-trigger. Tide Hollow Scholar is nice, and we can play it with its flash cost. 1, 2, 3, 4, and still have mana for mana leak. That is very fun. I like that. So what we're probably going to do, as soon as this guy taps, we're going to probably... yes. Here we go. Send this guy back to your hand. Let's hopefully he doesn't have an instant sorcery spell in hand that he can play right now. Instant, specifically. Okay. There you go. And bounce it to your opponent's hand? Yes. Opponent has no response. We still take the damage, but we put it back in our opponent's hand, which is nice. Prevents us from taking 1 damage or 2 damage every single turn, which is going to be something we need to deal with right now. Also, we probably are going to have to deal with this guy. We're probably going to have to chump block with something. Maybe even this thing. Maybe. We'll see. We will see. The other thing is that the guy, if he plays down that guy that... Ooh, Desperate Ritual. Yeah, no thank you. Rather you not play Desperate Ritual. Thanks, though. Thanks for coming out, but I think the answer is going to be not today, opponent. Not today. I'm actually really surprised he played Desperate Ritual. Like, why would you play Desperate Ritual without that guy that does damage down? It just seems a little surprising to me, that's all. So maybe because he wanted to get this guy into play. But Desperate Ritual would have allowed him to, like, play extra stuff, theoretically. Would have been able to play a 3-drop or another 1-drop. Potentially Shock. And I'm assuming our opponent... Oh, our opponent does swing in. Okay, so if we do not block here, I think we have to block. Is kind of what happens right now. If we don't block, we will go down too far, and I don't think we can do that. Don't think we can handle it. So going like this, yeah, we lose our guy. We lose our Harbinger of Tides, but at least this guy doesn't deal damage to us, which is more important because we're already taking 1 damage a turn guaranteed, and still taking damage from this guy probably starting next turn again. So there's some plans. I mean, this is turning into be an interesting, quite interesting game. Fortunately, our opponent's burning his clock real fast by having silly triggers like this happening. So bad for our opponent, and oh, island. Not at all what we wanted. Well, I think we're gonna play the Bite into Thassa. Not the best play, but we're gonna use it so we can do double draw off of the Judge's Familiar. Because right now we need to get some damage stuff going on. And what? Choose a Biden. Oh, it's a legendary! I hate my life sometimes. Oh, yeah, misplay. Because I totally forgot it's a legendary enchantment artifact. Super rad. I love that. Jeez. Well, at least our opponent is probably going to be able to do something fun. So he's gonna block here, and then we're gonna draw a card off of the thing. Because that would have been super powerful if we could have done that. So, oh, our opponent doesn't draw either. So always yes, always yield. Come on, make these fast. Make them fast. So Tidehollow Scholar, which is nice. Second, or Tidehollow Scholar, Pure Sight Marrow. I think we're gonna go play Pure Sight Marrow, and we're also gonna play this island right here, and then ship it to our opponent's turn. And that is going to be all she wrote, kids. Fixing the top of our library, obviously with this Pure Sight Marrow. Having the infinite combo would have been fantastic right now. Not really. We don't have anything to sink the mana into, which is the one downside about the infinite combo in this deck, is it literally has a single thing we can do. Oh no, hold on. We're not creating mana. We're exiling the top cards of our library. So our opponent gets to vanish this guy. So 1 damage to us. We don't get take damage from him, which is nice. Like the 3, him swinging in for a 3/3. We don't have to deal with that. If our opponent has shock or something, though, we are going to be in trouble. Or lightning bolt. Lightning bolt would theoretically kill us right now. If our opponent has lightning bolt in their deck, they have us right now. If they don't, we have probably 1 turn. Which I don't think we have lethal on board. So that's the thing. Electricity. What is this? Overload. Deals 1 damage to each creature you don't control. Huh. Neat. That's fun. Okay, well, let's use this right away. And what do we see on top? We see a Morrow Regery. Yes, that can stay on top. Yes, please. That is going to be very handy, by the way. I wish this was as long as it's tapped or untapped, but it's not. And he overloaded it for 1. So targeting our Judge's Familiar, which is fine, I guess. Does he actually have us right here? Does he have us? Does he have the damage? I'm just going to skip through to our opponent's turn. So he deals damage to everything else. Goes to our turn. We get a Morrow Regery. No, we get a Cold Eye Selkie. Because we said yes to exiling this guy rather than actually drawing him, which is not really what I wanted to do. But I accidentally did it. Accidentally. I think our opponent has us, by the way. I don't think we have a way around this. We're going to try, though. We're going to try. We need to... Stuff like this is really hard to play around. For us. We need more control, I think. I'm almost thinking that because we're playing against a mono red deck, leaving in the Seize Claim is just not very handy. I mean, it was handy when we had 2 of them in our opening hand, but it's not very handy. So, opponent's going to do damage to us. And they think they got us. We'll ship it to our opponent's turn, let them actually kill us, and then we're going to go to sideboard and put in stuff to hit on our opponent's deck some more. Now that we know what he's actually doing. Because, I mean, I said like a storm deck. Is it so? It's kind of like it's like a mono red burn deck, but a really weird one. A fun one. It's interesting. I bet it's super budget. Like, I don't think there's anything in this deck that's expensive. It is definitely in the lower world of budget. So, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I would consider building this deck to see how it plays. And maybe, I might even do that. I might do that someday. I might use this deck as a, what's the word I'm looking for? As a template for building something from our opponent. Okay, go to sideboard, GG opponent. And now what are we going to do? So Seize Claim, you guys are coming out. You're just not very good. I think Seize Claim comes out. Causey Stricter is not very good. Counter Color Spell doesn't really work either. Echoing Truth could actually be quite good. Whenever a opponent deals damage to you, return it to your opponent's hand. That's fun. I'm putting you in. He has so many things that deals damage to us. So those can come in. That'd be super fun. I think also Echoing Truth actually should come in. Oh, hold on. We have... No, we took out those. I actually thought this was something else. So it's not what I did. It's not what I thought it was. And Causey Stricter, as I said, Causey Stricter is not good in this deck. I think Gut Shot is can also be quite good. Just because we can kill off a lot of his 1 toughness things. Which... I mean, he only has like one toughness thing. So I think we're going to leave that. We're going to go like that. We're going to go like that. See what happens. Run it back. We got some game plan here. Echoing Truth is going to be really handy. It's actually something I would have thrown in if I would have known he has curses, which no one runs curses. No one has plays curses. This is very strange. This is very, very strange. So, yeah. Now, time to show our opponent who's boss by going first. I think this is going to be... Ooh. Not a keeper. Definitely mulligan that thing away. This, on the other hand, it's keepable. It's keepable. It's good. We got a Pure Sight Marrow again. That's super funny. Yes, so keep that. Harbinger of Tides is a neat top card. Is it neat enough to keep, though? I think it is neat enough to keep. Because if he does play one of his creatures, like, right away that tap stuff down, we can, in theory, make it go back to his hand. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I'm okay with that. So here we go. Going to our opponent's turn now. And game 3 against Twisted Weird Budget Burn deck. Super cool design. I like it. I like it a lot. I like seeing cool new decks like that. That's actually, it's I get a lot of my deck inspiration from playing against other people's cool decks. Other cool people's, you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about here. I'm gonna stop tongue twisting that one around. Super difficult, like. And I think what we do is we Pure Sight Marrow straight away. And then go with Judge's Familiar, swing for 1, go to our opponent's turn. Nice thing about Judge's Familiar, we can, in theory, use it if we want to use it defensively to counter him from playing spells, instants and sorceries. The Curse card is going to be difficult for us to deal with, because we don't really have, we have like a bounce spell, but we don't really have a good bounce spell. So yeah, I'm assuming his deck actually loses to burn decks quite well, or quite a bit, because, yeah. It doesn't have enough stopping power, like turns like 1, 2, 3. Ooh, okay, there's that guy. That's a difficult one, but not that difficult. It's not that difficult to deal with. We can easily deal with it. And if we get a 3rd mana, we are in the money. If we don't, yeah, we can just play another Pure Sight Marrow. And the answer is Cold Eye Selkie. Well, I think we go to combat, swing with both these guys. Attack with everything. See if our opponent wants to trade with us. I'm assuming they don't. I'm pretty sure they would rather get value off of this guy when playing instants and sorceries. Be my guess. That would be my #1 guess. And then we're going to play another Pure Sight Marrow on our end step. And then if he decides to swing in with this guy, maybe we'll play Harbinger of Tides. Maybe. And if he does actually, I mean, in theory we could actually use this right now. And instead of playing another Pure Sight Marrow, we could actually fix the top of our library, but maybe not. I think playing another Pure Sight Marrow is actually probably a better bet. I think it's going to be a better bet. Obviously, we missed a land drop. Not the end of the world. Not amazing. We can always, next turn, if we swing it with everything, we can actually double fix the top of our library, in theory, which might be a better idea. Might be. We'll see. We're going to find out. So that's a thing. So yeah, so you can see how tempo decks work. Ooh, Magma Jet. Well, I guess so. Why not? Why not? And we take 1 damage from this guy, which is nice. I think, well, this is whenever you play Instant Sorcery, right? Non-creature spell, in general. So we're going to have to set this thing to always yield. So that's the thing that happened. He blew up our guy. And he gets a Scry 2, which is nice. Scry 2 is nice. Again, I feel like his deck could use a little bit more of the real tough burn stuff. Probably. Why wouldn't he swing in? Surprising. Surprised our opponent decided not to swing in. There's the island, and I think what we go with is, I think we're gonna go with Maro Reedry. As much as I would love to play this guy, it's gonna be really easy for our opponent to block him. So, Maro Reedry, first turn, swing with Pure Sight Marrow and Judge's Familiar. Go to combat. Attacking with everything, please. And unfortunately, our opponent's down to 5. Sad. Sad day for our opponent. We're not talking for 5, we're talking for 3. Sorry. Doing my math wrong here, guys. Doing my math wrong. Attack with all creatures. The nice thing about Cold Eye Selkie as well is you draw cards equal to the number of damage it does, which is super fun. So if you have some lords in play like Maro Reedry, you get extra value off of it. So yeah. Something else that's really fun is when you play this guy, you playing the Merfolk gets to tap down this guy. There's the lightning bolt that we thought he didn't have. I legitimately did not think he actually had a lightning bolt in the deck. Just because we hadn't seen one. I don't think he has lightning bolt. Pretty sure he does not have lightning bolt. And we're also not going to sack the Judge's Familiar. I mean, he can easily pay for it, and he likely will pay for it, so... Needle Drop. Needle Drop deals 1 damage to target creature or player that was dealt the damage this turn and draw a card. So he has to deal 1 damage to us. Needle Drop, by the way, Needle Drop is not a good card. I've tried this card. It is not good. half the time it just sits in your hand and you're like, I want to play it, but I can't. Or you don't get to play it on the target you want to. Like, I need to get rid of this guy. Example, I need to get rid of this guy, but you can't. Okay, well, that's the thing. This guy, we need to deal with him. And going to our turn. Well, this has turned, the tides have turned quite substantially. That was a very good turn for our opponent. And unfortunately, we don't get what we need. So we're going to play Cold Eye Selkie. Cold Eye Selkie works a lot better also if we have words. I'm thinking Seize Claim in the deck. Seize Claim. It would be nice. And I think we... Do we swing it with just that guy, or do we swing it with both these guys? If we swing with this guy, you can just chump block here, so... And we don't have mana open, so it's not like it's amazing. So we're just going to go that way. We're just going to go this way. It's nice. It's nice. And ship it to our opponent's turn. Does our opponent decide to do anything? No, they don't. So, I mean, we're slowly grinding our opponent down by the single flyer we have in the deck. Normally we want to grind our opponent down with doing Lords. Playing Lords, getting +1 on our Merfolk, and then grinding our opponent down by that way. Usually also we have a better draw mechanic. Ooh, 1 damage to each creature. So I guess that guy's gonna die anyways. So we go like this. And then ship it to our opponent's turn. He's gonna totally just pile drive us into the ground right now. Which is not very fun. But it's a thing that happens once in a while. So clearly he pays for it. I mean, why wouldn't he? He's gonna kill off the Cold Eye Selkie, and he's probably gonna recast it. Or no. Overload for 2 mana. So if he has 2 of them, he can kill off more stuff. Kill off this guy. But Judge's Familiar was going to die no matter what. So we may as well make him pay an extra mana for it. Not that his deck is like all 1/2 drops. And Shock. Well done, opponent. You have all of the stuff. All of the stuff. That is not exciting. Well, it is exciting. I mean, I'm really happy to see our opponent playing a burn deck that's actually doing some really cool stuff, especially because it's super budget. Like, I can't believe our opponent's deck has to be, I guess with Lightning Bolts. Lightning Bolt probably pushes the deck up by $12, but I'm sure the deck is like 20, including Lightning Bolts. Like, it's super budget. Amazing super budget. Very, very excited. Very excited by our opponent's deck. It makes me very hopeful for the budget players of the world. Which, as you guys may have guessed, is the thing I'm most interested in. Okay. So, going to our turn. What do we draw? Tidal Scholar. That is really good. I think what we do is we play Harbinger of Tides and return this guy to our opponent's hand. Force him to have to play it again. Yes. And yes. And ship it to our opponent's turn. So, our opponent has 2 cards in hand. They are basically out of gas. If we draw more land, we can play both our guys as well. Opponent sent us an unsmiley face, also known as a sad face. I mean, he has to replay the guy. It's all good. I'm happy with that. I'm okay with it. Against this deck, I mean, again, Spell Snare would be so good. Uh-oh. That's no good. That's not good at all. Yeah. I think we're gonna have to play Tidebinder Mage and tap this guy down next turn. Gonna have to tap him down so he can't swing in and do damage to us. So that's what he had in his hand. Well, it's gonna be Tidebinder Mage. Tapping down this guy. Tapping him down. No, this guy for you. And then what do I think? Do we swing it with this guy? I think the answer is no. Because he will potentially either trade or just jump block. He'll probably just jump block. So, ship it to our opponent's turn. We're on a short clock. We're on a very short clock. I mean, we probably have 3 turns to start fixing the situation. Otherwise, we're going to be dead. Because our opponent literally, if he draws a instant sorcery, he gets to do like whatever. He gets to do 1, 2, 3 damage to us by drawing instant sorcery. He draws a land. Wow, why didn't he keep it in hand? When you have this much land, you should always hold up in your hand. Fake that you have something. Don't ever let your opponent think that you may not have something. And do we want this? Yeah, we want our opponent to lose that guy. And what do we draw? Things that we can draw that would help us out. A land. A land would help us out. This guy would help us out. This guy helps us out a lot, actually. Playing a Merfolk Lord is very handy. Mostly because we can swing at both these guys. And we can make Merfolks unblockable. Yeah, we can make Merfolks unblockable. So I think we just go to combat and swing with all of these guys. No regrets. Never surrender. Never give up. Never surrender. Hold on. If we do swing at both these guys, 6 damage for our opponent. Yeah, I think it's the way we have to go. I think this is the way we have to go. And if he swings with this guy, we may just jump block with this guy. Might be the way we go. And opponent deals 1 damage to us. Okay. Opponent goes down to 5. So our opponent needs to kill us this turn, or he's gonna have to chump block stuff. So we're about to find out. So opponent deals 1 damage to us. We go to 5. If our opponent gets a shock or a lightning bolt, they win. So that's something to keep in mind. Opponent has shock or lightning bolt, they win right now. What does our opponent draw? Everything's on the line. The World Championship is on the line. It is Needle Drop. That doesn't do it. Does not actually do it. I think our opponent actually loses on time, though. Unfortunately for our opponent, because I think they actually theoretically had us. I think they actually had us, but they're going to lose on time. Even if I skip through all of my turn. I think they still have us. Or they don't have us. They're 1 damage short. Needle Drop, not quite what he needs. Yeah. No luck for opponent. Do our opponent have something else? Oh, not what he needed. Good luck, GG opponent. I think you had me. I'm gonna tell him that. Until next time, though, my name is Adrian. This is GiantMonsterGames. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to game like a giant monster. Thanks for watching the GiantMonsterGames Advent Calendar. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe if you like this video and want to see more videos just like it. A huge shout out to all of the Patreon supporters. You guys are helping make videos like this, and if you want to pick this deck up, there is a link below with an affiliate link so you can grab this entire deck on MTGO.